Are you ready to get a grant writing internship? Well, if so, get ready for how to land the right grant writing internship. We're so excited that you're here on today, and we're going to be looking at grant writing internships, the ins and outs of it. So, who is this for? This is for anyone interested in possibly pursuing a career in grant writing and learning more about the ins and outs of grant writing internships and what that entails. It's also going to help you in a number of ways. It's going to help you to learn what an internship is, also for you to discover if an internship is right for you, and the best places to find these grant writing internships. You're going to also learn the good and the bad of internships, plus how to make the most of an internship once you get it. You're going to also see what you need to do before you actually get started with the internship, as well as we're going to be looking at some case studies for grant writing interns. With that said, we're going to actually help you, but I want you to stick around all the way into the very end, because if you do so, we've got some great resources such as the Grant Writing for Beginners and Clueless. If that's you, stick around for that, because I'm going to share with you the 12 things that I wish I knew before I wrote my first grant. Plus, I'm going to share with you a resource on how to become a grant writer. And finally, how to do strategic grant writing, especially for nonprofits that have a budget under $500,000. You don't want to miss it. Who am I? Well, I'm Rodney Walker. I'm the founding president of Grant Center USA, Grant Writers Association, as well as the Get Funded Inner Circle. I'm also the creator of the iGrantWriters.com site, as well as the Grant Writing Today. I've also created the Grant Writing That Gets Funded online course. I've had the pleasure of getting a chance to meet some awesome people throughout my career. People who are at the top of their game in their different industries doing wonderful work. And I'm excited to bring some of their winning ways to our training on today. I've had the pleasure of hiring and inspiring grant writers at every single level. So I'm really happy and excited to be sharing some insight with you today on how you can launch your career in grant writing. With that said, let's dive on in. So what is a grant intern? Well, an intern is a position of a student or trainee who works in an organization, sometimes without paying, in order to gain work experience or satisfy requirements for a qualification. And an internship provides you with a wonderful opportunity. It doesn't have to pay on the front end, but remember, it can really pay on the back end if you gain the necessary experience. With that being said, internships, is it good for you or is it bad for you? How do you know? Well, is it really right for you is what we want to be looking at. And with that being said, who is an internship right for? I have this question come up to me all the time and people want to know. So I'm going to share with you the only person that can really answer that. And that is, yes, you guessed it right. It's you. You're the only one that can really answer that question truthfully. And it really depends on your ultimate goal. So what is your goal? It's a great question for you to consider. And depending on what your goal is, your target, your aim, it's going to really dictate to you whether or not this is good for you or not. But for most people, a grant writing internship is a wise choice. And I want to share with you some reasons why. First, it allows you to do the following. It allows you to gain real life experience. It also allows you to test the waters before you actually dive in. It helps you to see if it really is a good fit. And it helps you to learn some trade secrets by being an insider, since you are on the inside working on actual grant proposals. It helps you to build your resume so that you can now have something to let others know that you've actually done something. Yes, it provides you with samples of actual grants because you're working on actual grant proposals. And it also allows you to attain something very important. It allows you to obtain social proof that, yes, this is something that you have some experience in. Most importantly, it helps you to gain some confidence. And with that being said, let's take a look at a couple other things. Here's another big benefit that many times is overlooked, but I don't want you to overlook it. That's what I'm going to share with you right now. It's actually a tremendous time saver. Yes, you can save a lot of time by going down the road of securing an internship. And let me tell you what I mean. I've talked to literally dozens of people who have wanted to do grant writing for 5 or more years. Hear me well. Literally 5 or more years they've been wanting to do it, but never did anything about it. And I'm going to share with you why they didn't make any progress. Here's the reason. Literally, they wanted to, but they don't take action. Okay? They wanted to, but never took the first step. So what happens? A day becomes a week becomes a month, and then a month becomes a year. That's 1,825 days later, and now 5 years have passed without getting one step closer to your goal. And I don't want that to be your story, my friend, because I consider that to be the royal time waster. And we don't want to waste time. I want you not to fall into this common trap. And I want you to really be a person of action. And if you'll do so, you can accomplish your goal of getting a grant writing internship and actually breaking into this career sooner than later. With that being said, let me share with you what's possible when you take that first step, because you never know where your journey is going to take you. I want to share with you a story from a young lady named Betsy. Now, Betsy has a remarkable story. So let's listen in real quickly and hear what Betsy has to say. Hey, this is Rodney. I'm here with the grant writing that gets funded. I'm here with my new friend, Betsy, and she was just telling me about this remarkable story that when she started her internship, her very first grant proposal that she was getting ready to write a grant for. Tell me about this experience, Betsy.
So, they needed something for the intern to do, and they gave me this opportunity to look for funding opportunities.
Okay.
And I found one, so I asked them if I could. They said, check if we're even eligible, okay, do your own thing. And found out we were. It was for our parks department. They said, have at it. I started doing research, calling up all the departments, getting everything I needed to. I had no idea what I was doing, but
First time?
First time.
Never ever written a grant before?
Never. But I looked at it like writing a research paper.
Okay.
And, we had some grants that had funded our the main project, the main park.
Okay.
So I looked at that, I built off of what we had, wrote the grant, and thought nothing more of it. I thought that was a great learning experience for an intern. 6 months later, I get an email saying that we were funded.
How much?
$500,000.
Can you believe that? $500,000. It just goes to show you that even if you're new to grant writing, you can learn this, and Betsy's living proof of it. So make sure that you come to the next grant writing that gets funded, and you might be doing what she did. Okay, now she had an incredible experience, and I want to make sure I set the record straight. No, most of you that are listening right now are not going to go out with your first grant and get a $500,000 grant. However, I wanted to share with you what's really possible and why you want to make sure that you take the first steps, because when you take the first steps, it leads to the next steps and the next steps and the next steps. Okay, so be brave and be bold, and be brilliant, take charge and make a move. Now, where can you find some of these great places to get started in getting an internship? Well, here's what I want to encourage you to do. First, ideally, I want to encourage you to look first, not outward, but to look inwardly. And I want you to find something that's really close to your heart. What I mean by this is, what are you really passionate about? And I really want to encourage you to think about, are there any nonprofits in your area that maybe address that interest area that you have? Or do you have a friend that's connected to an agency or an organization that's of interest? That may be an excellent place for you to actually start. In addition to that, I want to make sure that you are not afraid to ask people for help, because you never know what one bit of insight or one connection where it might lead to. So ask your friends. And what I'm literally saying is, start with your circle of influence. Start with your family, start with your friends, and start with your associates, because they may know someone or an organization that may be willing to help you. Another great place, if you're looking to get started and find internship opportunities, is to go over to grantwritinginternships.com. If you'll go there, it will take you over where you can see some internship opportunities that will be readily available for you on the igrantwriters.com site. And if you go to the grant writing internships, it takes you directly to the page that has internships available for people looking for interns. And you can see what opportunities exist. Now, these opportunities don't have to necessarily be in your area, because grant writing provides an opportunity for you to connect and do writing and do these internships oftentimes remotely. So go check them out as well. With that being said, let me share with you another case study of a young lady named Nikki Smith. Now, Nikki actually quit her dead-end job and learned a new skill and eventually landed a job as a grant writer. She has a very interesting story. I'm not going to play all of it, but I want to encourage you to go later on your own time, and you can listen to her story actually on YouTube to hear the complete story. But for now, here's her journey. she did our online grant writing training, and she actually desired some extra experience to boost her confidence and skills. So we connected her with an internship opportunity that was available. She actually did an internship with Danny Glover and Ben Guillory, who are the founders of the Roby Theater Company. So she actually got a chance to do that. And when she did this internship, it was a great experience for her, and she had a great time. I'm not going to be able to share all the details, but I'll just share some of the information with you right now so that you can hear what happened. But let me say this. As a result of doing her internship, she actually ended up getting a job offer to be able to work. Now, she's in the Ohio area, but she got an opportunity to possibly come and do work in the LA area as a result of doing an internship. And I'm just, again, sharing with you different experiences to share with you what may be possible. I'm not saying that this is going to happen to you. I'm just sharing with you what may possible happen or what some other people's experiences have been. So let's listen in and hear what Nikki has to say about some of her experience. We're going to listen in for about 3 or 4 minutes or so, okay? Let me just skip past some of this and go right to where you can hear some more of her journey. Said you did it and you went and got a job in less than how long after you finished the class?
It was actually the day after I presented that proposal to the class that my current boss called and asked me and said, I think we want to bring you on as a grant writer with us.
Wow, that's really something. I mean, and it's really cool because a lot of times, you know, when you step out like you did and take a leap to learn a new skill, there are no promises, but it seemed like based upon your experience, doors just kind of open. And what else has happened since that time?
Oh my goodness. Well, let's see. I've done my 5th grant now, and I just found out this past week that one of the first grants I wrote funded for $15,000.
Boo! Y'all, wait, don't pass it. Let me give you a high five. Give me a high five right now, girl. Give me a high five. Way to go. Okay, so you went from not knowing about how to write grants to making an investment to the Rising Star. You soared through that program, and then you turned around and already helped to raise $15,000 and written 5 other grant proposals. I mean, like that's great, and congratulations on that. I mean, like that's rock star stuff. I mean, like I love it, you know, because what you've done is so cool. You're helping other organizations now to get funded. What does that feel like?
Very, very rewarding because I've been on the other side of grant writing. So the the organization that I do grants for is actually a dance arts education organization. And so I know what goes into those programs and what goes into touching the children's lives and the youth of Chicago. So I'm ecstatic that I can help them to continue to do that.
I'm excited for you. What was it like when you found out and got word that your proposal was funded for $15,000? Take us back to that day and that moment. What did they call you? Did you get a letter? Tell us about what that looked like.
Well, the director of development,
Okay, guys, I'm going to stop right there, but here's some more kudos. I want to show you exactly what that proposal looked like, and I also want to share with you some words from Sinbad that had some encouraging words to say with her as a result. If you can take a look here, you can look at the entire part later on, but he encouraged a couple people, Nikki as well as Latoria, and here's a sample of what her proposal looked like. You can kind of get a chance to kind of get a glimpse over here. Let me close that out. And you can see that she has this proposal. What Nikki did. And if you haven't already followed these two ladies, I want to encourage you to go on LinkedIn right now and follow these two ladies. Look at the amazing job here with the grant proposal. I mean, for this to be their first grant proposal, I mean, I was just like floored. And I was so happy, so proud of the wonderful job that they did with the proposal. Look at the detail that they placed here. I mean, just an amazing job. And I wanted to say just congratulations on doing such a good job. In fact, I have someone who also wants to say a little something to both of you guys for doing such an awesome job. And let's see what he has to say.
Yo, what's up? This is Sinbad here. I want to talk to Latoya and Nikki. I heard y'all killed it. 8-week grant writing program. Going to be able to make money for everybody. Hey, listen what I'm about to tell you. Remember now that the stimulus package is done, they have these grants and these loans that's kind of like grants. People are going to need help with filling that kind of stuff out. You should get on this right now because I understand y'all smart as hell. Y'all kick butt in the 8-week program. Go out there and make that money back right now. They just signed it. There's a lot of people looking for grants, how to get the grant money to keep small business alive. So you know what? Put your wares out there. Let people know who you are. Put it up there. That's the key. And I'm glad, Rodney, I watched the video, man. Brother, I'm glad and happy what you're doing. Get these people ready to make money and have jobs. But can I just say one thing, Rodney? You had that jacket button all the way to the top, man. Let your neck breathe, brother. Let your neck breathe. All right. Okay, now, Nikki, Latoya. Hey, Latora. Oh, it's Latora. No, it's Latoya. I said it right? See, because I got these readers. So if I look up to look and read, see, I need a grant to get my eyes fixed. Maybe you can get a grant for me to get my eyes fixed, Latoya. Okay. Congratulations, y'all. Go out there and kill it.
Okay, Sinbad, I'm going to make sure that I loosen my tie up. Okay, buddy. So with that being said, let's talk about some of the good and the bad of internships. Now, there are some upsides and some downsides, and I want to be honest with you about what that looks like. Here's the good. It's a good way to learn a new skill. Why? Because it's going to allow you to have a cost-effective way to get in-depth training. Think about it. You're going to be learning on the job and giving you more practical experience than you can get from simply taking a class. Another thing about it is that it's a good way to immerse yourself in what it really means to be a grant writer. So if you're on the fence about, should I really do this as a career? This provides you an excellent opportunity to get the most realist way to see what this experience is like. Also, it's an opportunity for you to create a win-win situation, just like you heard a little earlier with Nikki's story. Nikki was able to help her dance company in a tremendous way that she was working with, as well as providing an opportunity for herself to get some satisfaction from doing it. So it's a win-win because you're helping the organization, but you're learning a skill that you need to learn. So here's what I want to encourage you to think about. And this is why an internship as a grant writer becomes very important. It's going to allow you to actually do the stuff and not just simply hear the stuff. So here's what the Chinese proverb says. It says, what I hear, I forget. What I see, I remember. What I do, I understand. Okay, so we want you to get a great understanding of this. Now, let's take a look at some of the bad that can happen with an internship. Here's some of the bad. A bad is if you get an internship where you're only a paper shuffler. And I'm encouraging you not to find one of those type of internships. That's why you got to do your homework on the front end and ask some good questions of those that are possibly going to be sponsoring you. Also, intern with someone who knows little or nothing about grant writing. Okay. Sometimes I see postings for job listings, and I saw one recently, and it was for a for-profit organization. Most grants are geared toward those that are nonprofit, but sometimes there are some for-profit grants that are available. But this was an organization that was a for-profit organization trying to get a grant writer, which maybe in most cases is not going to be the greatest fit. So you're maybe going to be working with somebody who knows next to nothing about actually what it means to write a grant. You want to intern and have a learning experience that's going to help you to learn more about grants. In addition to that, working an internship that doesn't tell you what to do, show you what to do, or reviews what you do. You want all of that to happen in your internship to get someone in a place that's going to help you to see what you need to do and be able to review your work. Okay. So we don't want to have these type of experiences. That's why it's going to be very important for you to have a clear understanding on the front end, what you want to achieve. You got to know where you're going, because as the saying from Lewis Carroll goes, it says, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. And we want to know exactly where we're going. With that being said, let's move on a little bit farther. How can you make the most of an internship? Well, here's what you need to do. First, you must be crystal clear on what you want to learn. Secondly, you must invest at least 10 minutes into listing out what you want to learn. So take some time right now to just list out for 10 minutes, what do you want to really get out of your experience? And make that picture crystal clear for yourself. In addition to that, you want to speak with a grant professional before to ask them what they think will be important for you to know. So now you're getting the outside perspective that could be very helpful also. You want to share what you're seeking to learn with your internship sponsoring organization so that they know what your expectations are as well as learning what their expectations are. You want to keep a journal of your experience. This is going to be a wonderful journey for you. You're going to learn so much. You're going to have to overcome some of your fears, some of your doubts, because you're going to be learning something new and it's going to be exciting. So you want to journal about that experience. Also, get some training before, during, and after your internship. If you really want to make the most of your experience, if you'll do all of these three, you will maximize that experience. In addition to that, you want to have a targeted goal. So let's move on. You want to make sure that you network with others during your experience. Getting a chance to bounce off ideas with others who are doing what you're doing. These may be other interns. These may be other professionals. So that's going to be important for you next then to join a local or online community of grant professionals. And come and visit me over on LinkedIn. I have a group there, the Grant Writers Association. It has about 15,000 some odd members there. Come join us, hang out, talk to other professionals. In addition, read something weekly to help you get better, because we want to get better each week during the course of your internship. In addition to that, go into your internship from day one with a solid game plan that you will execute to leave a favorable impression. And we want to leave a favorable impression because later on, you're going to need a reference. And we want to make sure that we've done an excellent job of doing your very best so that they can leave you with a great recommendation. So you're going to ask for a letter of recommendation upon the completion of your time. And then in addition to that, I'm going to encourage you to create a LinkedIn profile and get those recommendations also placed there. You want to do all of these things because it's going to be important for you to gain the most from your experience by showing the social proof that helps others to want to believe in you and give you a chance later on in the future. Okay? With that being said, how do you do this? Now, we want to create that LinkedIn profile. Here's a sample of mine on the left that you can see. But if you look over on the right, you'll notice that you can literally ask for recommendations once you've created your profile. And these are a few samples that I have of mine. Get as many of those as possible. If you're working with 2 or 3 people from your sponsoring agency, get 2 or 3 of them to write a recommendation for you. In addition to that, it may be wise for you also to go over and create a free iGrantWriters profile and get those recommendations placed there as well. Even though you're new, even though you're just starting out, you've got to start somewhere. And I can't even begin to tell you, when I was first doing grant writing, I had a profile very similar to this. And this is before LinkedIn became big. I had another organization that had an outlet very similar to this. And I put my posting there. It was free. And I actually put my post in there and somebody found me, and it resulted in a contract that ended up being $25,000 for a year, and they renewed for 2 years. So you never know what can happen. They were looking for someone that was really close in their area, and you never know what can happen. So go consider doing that as well. Now, what should you do before you start? Okay. There's some things that we want to get in place on the front end, and I want to go through those with you now. First, develop that game plan. Second, I want you to read a book. And I want you to read this book because it's going to help you on the front end to go in with some knowledge versus starting from ground zero. In addition to that, I want you to connect with those grant professionals, as I mentioned earlier. And then I want you to watch and listen to some training. Get some grant training before you actually enter in, because if you do so, you're going to be looking at things from a different perspective. Also, set goals for your internship. What do you want to have accomplished? Set the goal. If you know that there's something in particular that you want to do, set it as a goal, put it in writing. Get out of your mind, but put it in writing. In addition, you should go with a developed agreement. Most organizations, when you start working with them, some of them will provide an agreement. What the terms are. You want to develop one if you don't already have one. I have one over in our Grant Central store in our breaking into grant writing fast training. It's a great training, but you want to get a development agreement and something that you sign on the front end, because what you don't want to do when you get into these internships is be on a forever internship. And you want to set the parameters for how long on the front end, whether it's 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, whatever it's going to be, so that it's very, very clear. So with that being said, remember, I have another video later on that you should watch, what you should do during your internship and after your internship. Okay. Now, with that said, let me share with you this wonderful lady, Brooke Woods, and how she overcame some tremendous challenges and some setbacks to become a grant writer. And she went down the path of also doing a grant writing internship. So she had these challenges. And when she first came to me, I never will forget, she was going through a relationship challenge and was needing to land a job quickly. She told me, hey, I need to land a job quickly because I'm going to need some employment. And with that being said, she decided to go through our Trailblazers apprenticeship program. And when she did that, she eventually ended up learning about grants and then landed a grant writing internship rather quickly. And then soon thereafter, she eventually landed a job just a couple of months later. Let's listen in and hear what Brooke has to say firsthand. I'm going to skip over so we can get straight to the meat of it and let you hear that. So let's take a listen real quickly and hear what Brooke has to say. You can listen to the rest of this on your own, but let's hear some of her experience.
Nerves when you're just kind of getting started. But what was the experience like when you first started going down this road?
I think it was pretty simple because I had already read a book, actually. I read a grant writing book, and then I reached out to you. So when I was working with you, I was able to just kind of dig deeper than the foundation that I already knew, and just kind of was ready with some questions that I needed some more understanding on. And I was working with an internship at the same time to do the grant proposal that I was working on with you. And I think it went really smoothly.
That's great. How long did it take for you to land that internship that you ended up landing? And which organization did you end up working with?
I worked with Intertribal Council of Arizona, and it was only like an hour drive for me. So I was able to actually meet with the executive director there. It was a really great experience working with them. It didn't take me long to get an internship. I used the template that you helped me out with in order to communicate with them. And I would say it took maybe a week or two to find someone.
Wow. So then you landed it. And I know after you landed, I remember you coming back and you were like, hey, I'm getting ready to work on a grant proposal, but it wasn't what most people normally start out with. It wasn't a small foundation grant. You started out doing a government grant. What was that experience like for you?
I mean, I was actually excited about that because I would rather get experience working on the hardest thing possible, especially with resources such as yourself to help me with it. I was like, okay, give me the hardest thing because then I'll learn the most from it. So I was really happy about it.
Yeah. And then you dove right in and started doing it. What was the most challenging part for you while you were going through this whole process?
The most challenging part was that there were different things on the request for proposal for the government grant that needed to be talked about. And I didn't know all the answers to those questions. So I needed to work as a team with other people in the nonprofit agency in order to answer those questions. And they're pretty busy people. So it was a little difficult trying to maneuver getting all the information in at once, but it all pulled together really nicely in the end.
Got it. Good. So you dove right into it. And I remember you read the book, as you may mention. Then you started going through the course, the online portion. That was
Okay, guys, I'm going to stop there. You can check out the rest later, but I just want to let you know what she said. She started out at the very beginning, and by starting at the very beginning, she read a book. And listen, now she's graduated into the point of getting a job with another nonprofit organization. That real life experience was very helpful, and I'm so proud of the work that she's doing. Now, I want to share with you, she got an opportunity to get some kudos from Natalie, former Miss Universe. And I want you to hear what Natalie had to say, because she had some things, I believe, to share that not only can be encouraging for Brooke, but also especially encouraging for you on your journey. So let's listen in. I'm going to skip past it. You can go and look at this later on YouTube and get to some of the other parts. But let me skip right to where she has something to say to you as well as Brooke.
Keep up the good work. I've also bought in and asked
former Miss Universe, Natalie Gavova, to share some words of encouragement with our friend Brooke and the rest of you that are out there. Here's what she had to say.
Hello, dear Brooke. My name is Natalie Gavova. I'm an author, I'm a winning mindset coach, and I happen to be a former Miss Universe. Now, I want to send you a message to say big congratulations on learning a new skill and on landing a new job. How fantastic is that? Congratulations, you are a winner. And I also want to let you know that winners are defined by the challenges that they go through in their life. And winners are made by how they choose to overcome those challenges. And you, my dear Brooke, are a winner. You are definitely a winner because you have been through challenges. You have chosen to do something about it. You have chosen to learn a new skill and to react differently to your situation. And now you are winning. So just remember that whatever you want in life is always available to you. If you choose to take action, if you choose to reframe the situation, and if you choose to celebrate all of those small wins that you make throughout your day and throughout your life. Congratulations once again. Stay healthy, stay happy, always be beautiful, and sending you lots of love from Phuket, Thailand.
Wow. Hey, thanks for those wonderful, encouraging words, Natalie. Wow, those were some great words. And it's so powerful because here's the thing. It's really possible to do what you want to do. And I know that she did it. And if she did it, guess what, my friend? You can too. With that being said, let's take a look at a couple other things. If you want to see some more aspiring stories of other people who've done it, go over to grandcentralusa.com/rockstar, and you can hear more stories as well that will inspire you to do your very best and to reach toward your goals. With that being said, let's move on. Now, let's recap what's been said about this whole grant writing internship experience. Here's the things that we want to take note of. We said first, is a grant writing internship right for you? And that there was only one person who could determine that, and that was you. I've also shared with you why an interning could be wise for you. And I said that it allows you to gain experience, test the waters, see if it's a good fit. You can learn trade secrets. You can build your resume, see samples of grants. You can obtain social proof. And most importantly, you can gain some confidence. I also share with you the importance of starting with your circle of influence, your friends. And remember that if you want to look and find some grant opportunities, you can go over to grantwritinginternships.com. I share with you the importance of the good and the bad. We said that there were some good things in internships as well as some bad. That the good, that you learn a new skill. You can get the opportunity to do a cost-effective way of diving in deeply. And then it's an opportunity for you to create a win-win situation. Some bads, we said that you also have the bad of being a paper shuffler if you get into that type of internship. But you're not going to get into that type of internship because you, my friend, know too much, because you're going to go into the situation knowing what you want. Also talked about the importance of making the most of your experience, that you're going to be crystal clear about what you want. You're going to take the 10 minutes to list out what you want to learn before you actually start. And you're going to be speaking with those professionals and all that, connecting with these people. You're going to be networking. You're going to be getting into local communities. And when you do all of this, asking for letters of recommendation, putting that on your profiles, it's going to help you to win. And that's what I want to see you do, my friend. I want to see you win. And I promise you some free resources to help you win. I promise you information about the 12 things that I wish that I knew before I started writing my very first grant proposal and what I would do differently. This is grant writing for those who are beginners and clueless. I'm going to share with you where you can find that, as well as another training. If you found what you just listened to very helpful, I'm going to share with you another training on how to become a grant writer. And it's a free training as well. And then the strategic grant writing. Now you can locate each of these right now, absolutely free, if you go over to igrantwriters.com/events, and you can sign up for each of these events and gain some great information. Okay. In addition to that, I want to share with you the incredible free gift. If you found all this other information very helpful, go take advantage of the $800 gift that I give as a part of being a member of our GFI C, which is our Get Funded Inner Circle. It's absolutely free, this gift that comes along with being one of our members. And here's a link. If you go over to myincrediblepfreegift.com, you can read up all about it. I even have a video that explains more details about it as well. And then also, if you're interested in getting placed as an intern, maybe you're saying, hey, Rodney, I want to become an intern. I want to get somebody to help me. You don't want to go through all the rigmarole of trying to do it yourself and you want placement. Well, I have nonprofits all the time reaching out to me looking for good interns. Go over to grantwritinginternship.com, share more information with you about that. And then finally, if you are just simply looking for those opportunities, remember, go over to grantwritinginternships with an S.com and you can find all those opportunities and start applying to them directly yourself. All right. Hopefully that's been helpful for you. Remember, I want to see you win. I want to see you win in your grant writing career. I've been able to do it with so many other people. I'm excited you've listened in. And remember, you can get some amazing results if you will step out and simply take action and do as many others have done. You can win, and it is possible. I want to thank you so very much for taking a moment to watch this with me. And remember, it really is possible. And if you do so, you too can achieve some of the great achievements that you've seen here. So thanks again for joining me. Go visit me on your social media accounts. Go hang out. Please reach out and connect. Let me know how things are going. And I look forward to seeing you the next time. Remember, be brave, be bold, be brilliant, and take charge.